Day 68 of reading through the scriptures. We're starting in Exodus chapter 18. And Yethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, heard of all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Yisrael his people, that Yahweh had brought Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. And Yethro, Moshe's father-in-law, missed the page, took Zipporah, the wife of Moshe, after he had sent her back, and her two sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been a sojourner in a foreign land. The name of the other was Eleazar, for he said, the Elohim of my father was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. Yethro, Moshe's father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moshe in the wilderness, and he was encamped at the mountain of Elohim. And he said to Moshe, I, your father-in-law Yethro, am coming to you with your wife and her two sons with her. And Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other about their welfare, and they went into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that Yahweh had done to Pharaoh and to the Mitzrites for Israel's sake, all the hardship that had come upon them on the way, and how Yahweh had delivered them. And Yethro rejoiced for all the good which Yahweh had done for Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Mitzrites. And Yethro said, Blessed be Yahweh, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Mitzrites, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, and who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mitzrites. Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all the mighty ones, indeed, in the matter in which they acted proudly above them. Then Yethro, the father-in-law of Moshe, brought an ascending offering and other slaughterings unto Elohim. And Aharon came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with the father-in-law of Moshe before Elohim. And it came to be on the next day that Moshe sat to rightly rule the people. And the people stood before Moshe from morning until evening. And when the father-in-law of Moshe saw all that he did for the people, he said, What is this that you are doing for the people? Why do you sit by yourself, and all the people stand before you from morning until evening? And Moshe said to his father-in-law, Because the people had come to me to seek Elohim, when they have a matter, they come to me, and I rightly rule between one and another, and make known the laws of Elohim and his Torot. And the father-in-law of Moshe said to him, What you are doing is not good. Both you and these people with you shall certainly wear yourselves out. For the matter is too heavy for you. You are not able to do it by yourself. Now listen to my voice. Let me counsel you, and Elohim be with you. Stand before Elohim for the people, and you shall bring the matters to Elohim. And you shall enlighten them concerning the laws in the Torah, and show them the way in which they should walk, and the work which they do. But you yourself seek out from all the people able men who fear Elohim, men of truth, hating unfair gain, and place these over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they shall rightly rule the people at all times. And it shall be that they bring every great matter to you, but they themselves rightly rule every small matter. So make it lighter for yourself, for they shall bear with you. If you do this word, and Elohim shall command you, then you shall be able to stand, and all this people also go to their place in peace. And Moshe listened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he said. And Moshe chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they rightly ruled the people at all times. The hard matters they brought to Moshe, but they rightly ruled every small matter themselves. And Moshe sent off his father-in-law, and he went away to his own land. Jeremiah chapter 2. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Go, and you shall cry in the hearing of Jerusalem, saying, Thus said Yahweh, I remember you, the loving commitment of your youth, the love of your bridehood, when you went after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Yisrael was set apart to Yahweh, the first fruits of his increase. All who ate of it became guilty. Evil came upon them, declares Yahweh. Hear the word of Yahweh, O house of Jacob, and all the clans of Israel. Thus said Yahweh, What unrighteousness have your fathers found in me, that they have gone far from me, and went after worthlessness, and became worthless? And did not they say, Where is Yahweh who brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim? who led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and pits, through a land of drought and shadow of death, a land that no one passed through and where no one dwelt? Then I brought you into a good land to eat its fruit and its goodness. But when you entered, you defiled my land and made my inheritance an abomination. The priests did not say, Where is Yahweh? And those who handle the Torah did not know me. And the shepherds transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after matters that did not profit. Therefore I still contend with you, declares Yahweh, and with your children I contend. For pass beyond the isles of Kittim and see, and send to Kedar, and observe well, and see if there has been any like this. Has any nation changed its mighty ones, which are not mighty ones? But my people have changed my esteem for that which does not profit. Be amazed, O heavens, at this, and be frightened. Be utterly dried up, declares Yahweh. For my people have done two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, to hew out for themselves cisterns, cracked cisterns, which do not hold water. Is Yisrael a servant? Was he born in the house? Why is he given to plunder? The young lions roared at him, they growled, and made his land waste. His cities have burned without inhabitant. Even the sons of Noph and the Tophanes have shaven the crown of your head. Have you not done this to yourself by forsaking Yahweh your Elohim when he led you in the way? And now why take the way to Mitzrayim to drink the waters of Shihor? Or why take the way to Ashur to drink the waters of the river? Your own evil instructs you, and your backslidings reprove you. Know therefore and see that it is evil and bitter that you have forsaken Yahweh your Elohim, and that my fear is not in you, declares the Master Yahweh of hosts. For of old I have broken your yoke and torn off your chastisements. And you said, I am not serving you, when on every high hill and under every green tree you lay down, a whore. Yet I had planted you a choice vine, all of it a true seed. How then have you turned before me into the degenerate plant of a strange vine? Although you wash yourself with lye, and use much soap, yet your crookedness is ingrained before me, declares the Master Yahweh. How do you say, I am not defiled, I have not gone after the Baals? See your way in the valley, know what you have done. A swift dromedary breaking loose in her ways, a wild donkey used to the wilderness, sniffing the wind in the desire of her being, in the time of mating. Who turns her away? All those who seek her need not weary themselves. In her month they find her. Keep your foot from being bare, and your throat from thirst. But you said, It is useless, because I love strangers, and after them I go. As the thief is ashamed when he is found out, so is the house of Yisrael ashamed, they and their sovereigns and their heads, and their priests and their prophets, saying to a tree, You are my father, and to a stone, You gave birth to me. For they have turned their back to me, and not their face. But in the time of their calamity they say, Arise and save us. But where are your mighty ones that you have made for yourselves? Let them arise, see if they save you in the time of your calamity, because your mighty ones have become as many as your cities, O Yehuda. Why do you complain to me? You all have transgressed against me, declares Yahweh. In vain have I stricken your children. They received no instruction. Your sword has devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. O generation, see the word of Yahweh. Have I been a wilderness to Israel, or a land of darkness? Why do my people say, We have broken loose, we come to you no more? Would a maiden forget her ornaments, or a bride her headband? Yet my people have forgotten me, days without number. Why do you embellish your way to seek love? Therefore you have even taught the evil women your ways. Even on your skirts is found the blood of the lives of the poor innocents. You did not find them breaking in, but in spite of all these, you say, Because I am innocent, certainly his displeasure shall turn from me. See, I shall bring judgment on you, because you say, I have not sinned. Why do you go about so much to change your way? Even of Mitzrayim you are to be ashamed, as you were ashamed of Ashur. Even from this one you shall go forth with your hands on your head. For Yahweh has rejected those you trust, and you shall not prosper by them. Psalm 68. I think that's where I'm supposed to be. Okay. I'm going to Elohim arises, his enemies are scattered, and those who hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, you drive them away. As wax melts before the fire, the wrong perish before Elohim. But the righteous are glad, they exult before Elohim, and they rejoice with gladness. Sing to Elohim, sing praises to his name, raise up a highway for him who rides through the desert. By his name Yah, and exalt before him. Father of the fatherless and right ruler of widows is Elohim in his set-apart dwelling. Elohim makes a home for the lonely. He brings out into prosperity those who are bound with chains. Only the rebellious shall dwell in a dry land. O Elohim, when you went out before your people, when you stepped through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook and the heavens dropped before Elohim. This Sinai shook before Elohim, the Elohim of Yisrael. You, O Elohim, sent a shower of plenty. You confirmed your inheritance when it was weary. Your flock dwelled in it. You provided from your goodness for the poor, O Elohim. Yahweh gave the word. The woman who proclaimed it was a great company. Sovereigns of armies flee in haste, and she who remains at home divides the spoil. If you lie down among the sheepfolds, the wings of a dove are covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty scattered sovereigns in it, it did snow in Salmon. A mountain of Elohim is the mountain of Bashan. A mountain of peaks is the mountain of Bashan. A mountain of peaks, why do you gaze in envy at the mountain which Elohim desired to dwell in? Yahweh even dwells there forever. The chariots of Elohim are 20,000, thousands of thousands. Yahweh came from Sinai into the set-apart place. You have ascended on high. You have led captivity captive. You have received gifts from among men, even the rebellious, that Yah Elohim might dwell there. Blessed be Yahweh, day by day he bears our burden, the El of our deliverance, Selah. Our El is the El of deliverance, and to Yahweh the Master belong escapes from death. Indeed, Elohim smites the head of his enemies, the hairy scalp of him who walks about in his guilt. Yahweh said, I bring back from Bashan, I bring back from the depths of the sea, so that you plunge your foot in blood, that the tongues of your dogs have their portion from the enemies. They have seen your goings, O Elohim, the goings of my El, my sovereign, into the set-apart place. The singers went in front, the players on instruments after them. Among them were the young women playing tambourines. Bless Elohim in the assemblies, Yahweh from the fountain of Yisrael. There is Benjamin the smallest, their ruler. The leaders of Yehudah, their company, the leader of Zebulun, the leader of Naphtali. Your Elohim has commanded your strength. Be strong. O Elohim, this you have worked out for us. Because of your Hakel at Jerusalem, that's temple, sovereigns bring presents to you. Remember the wild beasts of the reeds, the herd of bulls with the calves of the peoples, each one humbling himself with pieces of silver. Scatter the peoples who delight in conflicts. Ambassadors come out of Mitzrayim. Cush stretches out her hands to Elohim. Sing to Elohim, you reigns of the earth. Praises to Yahweh, Selah. To him who rides on the ancient highest heavens. See, he sends out his voice, a mighty voice. Ascribe strength to Elohim. His excellence is over Yisrael, and his strength is in the clouds. O Elohim, awesome from your set-apart places. The El of Yisrael is he who gives strength and power to his people. Blessed be Elohim. Luke chapter 24. But on day 1 of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb, and having entered, they did not find the body of the Master Yeshua. And it came to be, as they were perplexed about this, that see, 2 men stood by them in glittering garments. And becoming frightened and bowing their faces to the earth, these said to them, Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, but has been raised up. Remember how he spoke to you when he was still in Galilee, saying, The Son of Adam has to be delivered into the hands of sinners, and be impaled, and the 3rd day rise again? And they remembered his words, and having returned from the tomb, they reported all this to the 11 and to all the rest. And it was Miriam from Magdala, and Yochanan, and Miriam the mother of Yaakov, and the rest of them who told this to the emissaries. And their words appeared to them to be nonsense, and they did not believe them. But Kepha arose and ran to the tomb, and stooping down, he saw the linen wrappings lying by themselves. And he went away home, marveling at what took place. And see, 2 of them were going that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was 60 stadia from Jerusalem. And they were talking to each other of all this which had taken place. And it came to be, as they were talking and reasoning, that Yeshua himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were restrained, so that they did not know him. And he said to them, "What are these words you are exchanging with each other as you are walking? And you are sad?" And the one whose name was Cleophas, answering, said to him, "Are you the lone visitor in Jerusalem who does not know what took place in it these days?" And he said to them, "What?" And they said to him, "Concerning Yeshua of Nazareth, who was a prophet mighty in deed and word before Elohim and all the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and impaled him, crucified him. We, however, were expecting that it was he who was going to redeem Israel. But besides all this, today is the 3rd day since these matters took place." But certain women of ours, who arrived at the tomb early, also astonished us. When they did not find his body, they came, saying they had also seen a vision of messengers who said he was alive. And some of those who went with us went to the tomb and found it, as also the women had said, but they did not see him. And he said to them, "O thoughtless ones, and slow of heart to believe in all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary for the Messiah to suffer these and to enter into his esteem?" And beginning at Moshe and all the prophets, he was explaining to them in all the scriptures the matters concerning himself. And they approached the village where they were going, and he seemed to be going on. But they urged him strongly, saying, "Stay with us, for it is toward evening, and the day has declined." And he went in to stay with them. And it came to be, when he sat at the table with them, having taken the bread, he blessed, and having broken, he was giving it to them. And their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. And he disappeared from their sight. And they said to each other, "Was not our heart burning within us as he was speaking to us on the way, and as he was opening the scriptures to us?" And rising up that same hour, they returned to Jerusalem, and found the 11, those who were with them, gathering together, saying, "The Master was truly raised, and has appeared to Shimon." And they related what took place on the way, and how he was recognized by them in the breaking of the bread. And as they were saying this, Yeshua himself stood in the midst of them, and said to them, peace to you." And being startled and frightened, they thought they had seen a spirit. And he said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? See my hands and my feet, for that it is I myself. Handle me and see. For a spirit does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have." And saying this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they were still not believing for joy and marveling, he said to them, Have you any food here?" And they gave him a piece of boiled fish and some honeycomb. And taking it, he ate in their presence. And he said to them, "These are the words which I spoke to you while I was still with you, that all have to be fulfilled that were written in the Torah of Moshe, and the prophets, and the Tehillim, that's the Psalms, concerning me." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures, and said to them, "Thus it has been written, and so it was necessary for the Messiah to suffer and to rise again from the dead the 3rd day, and that repentance and forgiveness of sin should be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. And you are witnesses of these matters. And see, I am sending the promise of my Father upon you, but you are to remain in the city of Jerusalem until you are clothed with power from on high." And he led them out as far as Bethania, and lifting up his hands, he blessed them. And it came to be, while he was blessing them, that he was parted from them, and was taken up into the heaven. And they, having bowed down to him, returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and were continually in the set-apart place, praising and blessing Elohim. Amen.